Good morning, Mariners Church, and anybody who's watching. I'm so glad that you've joined us as we finish up Holy Week before our great celebration tomorrow at Easter as a church family, as we worship with church online or in all the other ways that you may celebrate this incredible day. But as we've been going as a church staff each day through Holy Week, today is Saturday, the Sabbath. And the Bible records that the disciples and everybody were resting during the Sabbath. And I can imagine as they were resting, they had just experienced the crucifixion the night before, the afternoon before, and the burial. And this man that they'd been following for 3 years, the one who they thought would be their political deliverer, clearly was their spiritual teacher and mentor, had been building into their lives and performing miracles and teaching them. And then they go through this week of seeing Jesus arrested and ridiculed and beaten, ultimately crucified, Peter having denied him, and the grief and the shame, the fear of being rounded up as one of his followers. This was not a Sabbath that was restful, was it? This was filled with emotional turmoil, isolation, separation, grief, fear. Do all of those emotions sound familiar? They sure do. We as a country, we as a world, humanity right now is in isolation and concern and fear, and we just don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. And we as followers of Christ, we know that Easter brings this resurrection and this hope and this joy. But at that time, they didn't know that. The promises were kind of cryptic to them. They didn't quite get it. And so we can kind of more than ever identify with this idea of loss, of separation, of anxiety, of fear, of isolation and worry. And so I just want to read you a psalm that I think is so beautiful. Psalm 30 says, "I will exalt you, Lord, for you rescued me. You refused to let my enemies triumph over me. O Lord, my God, I cried to you for help, and you restored my health. You brought me up from the grave, O Lord. You kept me from falling into the pit of death. Sing to the Lord, all you godly ones, praise his holy name. For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor, it lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning." Wow. God has rescued us. Jesus dying on the cross was the ultimate rescue from the ultimate death, separation from him. He has rescued us. And in this day in between, this theological term we use, already not yet. We're already saved, but we're working out our salvation. We're already started as followers of Christ into eternity, but we know we're still in this temporal world. Already not yet. Well, the work was already accomplished on the cross, but the disciples hadn't seen the completion of it until the resurrection, this already not yet, in between moment. And we may be going through a season culturally, globally, of this darkness and of this weeping that may last through this night. But there is joy and hope in the morning. For us as Christ followers, it's just secured by the resurrection. We know that salvation has come. But also for our situations in our world, the way it applies, this is not going to last forever. Isolation and separation will not be the way we live forever. Joy comes in the morning. So don't give up hope. Our God has rescued us from death. His favor is here with us for a lifetime. God is great and he loves you so very much. Let's celebrate tomorrow at Easter. Thank you. Have a great week.